welcome back to Cruising as Crew. Today I'm going to tell you what I really thought of working on a mega ship, and it wasn't exactly the best experience I've ever had working on a cruise ship, but we'll get into the reasons why. Now, the first reason is the safety on board the ship, and before I go into this I want to emphasise that this is my opinion. This isn't fact. Some people who work on the mega ships will feel completely different to me on this specific subject, but this is just what I witnessed while I was on board this one ship. And I just, you know me, I like to be completely honest. I don't like to sugarcoat things. So when you work on a cruise ship, you basically have two jobs. You have the job that you would hired to do, so maybe work in the casino, work in the shops, work in the bar, but then you have your safety role on board. And they don't really tell you about this before you get on board, but it is just as important, if not more important, than the actual job that you've been hired to do. Because obviously it involves the safety of you, but also everyone on board. And from what I found, people didn't take the safety job too seriously, and I think the reason is because there's so many crew members on board. There's 2,100 crew members. There was this attitude of like, well, if I don't know it, someone will know it, or if I don't do it, someone will do it. And that is just not an attitude I found when I've worked on the smaller ships, because obviously there isn't as many crew members, so everyone understands that no, they need to do their safety role because no one's going to come and do it for them. So I did find that a lot of crew members didn't know where muster stations were. They didn't really know what the different alarms meant, like what they were supposed to do when the different alarms rang. And that was concerning, because I'm like, if you don't know the basics, like when you're put under pressure and when you're in an emergency situation, well, not when, but if, I mean, God, hopefully it never happens, but if you're in an emergency situation, like that is not the time to start learning. But unfortunately, people don't seem to take it all that seriously, because everyone has this attitude of like, it's never going to happen. And I think that there's just like so many crew members on these mega ships, and everyone is so busy with their main job that people are like, I don't have time to learn all of this safety knowledge, because there's a lot of safety knowledge. I must say that, I mean, I know I worked on Royal Caribbean when I first started my cruise ship career back in 2015, but obviously I've done a lot of cruise lines since then, and going back onto this Royal Caribbean ship, I was treated as a new joiner because I hadn't been on for so long. I have not done that much training in years. The training was extensive, but the problem is the training was all online, and it's just an online course. And what does everyone do if they don't really care about what they're learning and they just want to get through it? They skip. So although on paper it looks like everyone is trained and everyone should know exactly what's going on, everyone's actually just skipped the lessons. Whereas the ship I was on before, I think I can say now, it was the Disney Wish. It was amazing. The ship I was on before, all of the training was done in person. You have someone to keep you accountable. You have a teacher there, and if you don't know the answer, I mean, you're not going to get in trouble, but like, there's someone to make you feel a little bit ashamed if you don't know the answer when you should know. Whereas when you're just doing all of this training on a tablet, like, there's no one to keep you accountable. And I have noticed that on different cruise lines, when the training is done in person, everyone knows what they're doing. When the training is done online, no one really knows what they're doing. But anyway, so that was the first thing that I was a little bit disappointed in going on the mega ships, because I really thought it would be the other way. I thought the safety and everyone's safety knowledge would be like absolutely crystal clear. But it wasn't like that, which was a bit sad. But what do you think of this background? So when I was on Harmony, I met Les and Darlene, hello if you're watching, and they said that when I'm at home I need a better background because my bedroom is white and quite sparse. So what do we think of this? Is this better than a white wall? I know it's a bit busy though, but tell me what you think. Or should I get some shelves and, I don't know, try and make a nice little background? Let me know. The second thing that you might expect was, on this mega ship there was more drama. So obviously the bigger the ship, the more crew members you need, which means the teams are going to be bigger. So I've worked in shops teams that consisted of 15 to 20 people, whereas on Harmony the team was made up of 40 individuals. So it was a very large shops team, and you found that, you know, all over the ship. The casino team was huge, the waiter team was absolutely massive, and obviously the bigger the team, the more personalities you have, the more room for disagreements, conflicts, things of that nature. And especially in a revenue department like casino, bars, shops, art, where there's a huge pressure to hit targets because it's a massive ship, it's a huge money maker for Royal Caribbean. Everyone's under a lot of pressure individually, and when people are under a huge amount of pressure, they do things that they probably wouldn't usually do, like arguing over a sale, or, you know, getting worked up about something that's actually quite small, quite insignificant, but because you're stressed, everything's heightened. And I did find that while everyone was quite friendly, there was just a lot more tension and, you know, people not getting along and people having disagreements. That was all over the ship. I just noticed that everyone was on like high alert and quite stressed because there's so many passengers to make happy, there's so many things to do. Like, everyone has an extensive to-do list, so yeah, there was just a lot more drama than I'm used to. So number 3, I found that it was harder to make friends. And again, this is my opinion. There are a lot of people who completely disagree with me on this topic, but the comparison I'm going to make is being on a mega ship is like being in a city, and being on a smaller ship is like being in a town. Everyone's a little bit less stressed, everyone's happy to have a chat, and therefore you build connections so much faster. Whereas on a mega ship, everyone's got somewhere to be, they don't have time to sit and talk, everyone's stressed, so it's harder to, you know, to build those connections. And I definitely found this. So kind of going back to how stressful it can be at work, and there's more drama, like there's just more things to do minute to minute. So by the time I finished my shift, I was like, I am done. Like, my battery is dead. I have no energy to go and sit at the crew bar and, you know, make conversation and try and make friends. I just did not have anything left over, especially when you know you've got to get up the next morning and do it all again. So I was like, I need to sleep. But I do want to say as well, like, I was there with my boyfriend, and that is a little bit of a safety net, you know. You don't need to make friends because you've already got someone with you. So I am going to say I probably would have made a lot more effort if, I would have made more effort if me and Josh weren't doing the contract together. So maybe that's why, maybe I just wasn't putting in the effort because I didn't have to. But like, even when I've been on the other ships with Josh, I've still managed to make friends because it's just easier on smaller ships. I found, at least anyway. But then some people say, oh my gosh, no, I find it so much easier to make friends on bigger ships because there's so many more people to choose from. And, you know, whereas on a smaller ship, sometimes you can go to the crew bar and there's no one there. On on one of the mega ships, there is always people in the crew bar. Like, there's always people partying because there's so many people. And again, I'm like, maybe if I went on a mega ship when I was like 21 and I just started my cruise ship career, maybe it would have been different. I'm just like old and grouchy now. I'm like, don't talk to me. But no, I don't know. But that was just my experience. I did find it harder to make friends. Number 4 is there are way more rules than I was anticipating. So as I said, I was on Disney Wish before, which is a brand new ship for the Disney fleet. And it is a big ship, but compared to Harmony, it's not a big ship. And it's Disney compared to Royal Caribbean. So I was expecting Disney to have far more stricter rules than Royal Caribbean. However, I found that Royal Caribbean was a lot stricter than Disney. And I do think this is ship to ship. Like, I think, you know, if I'd have gone from the Disney Wish to like Royal Caribbean Rhapsody of the Seas, no. Like, Rhapsody is going to be way more laid back than Harmony. But of course, the bigger the ship, the more money it makes for the company. So therefore, the more eyes it's going to have on it. So the job that I have, for whatever reason, comes with 2.5 stripes. That is my rank on board. And I kind of thought that, and I suppose it's a bit silly since I've been on ships for so long, but I thought the privileges would just be the same across the board, like no matter what cruise line you go on. But it was very different. So while on Disney, 2.5 stripes got me a lot of privileges. Access to the officer mess, the officer bar, a nice cabin, the ability to go pretty much anywhere on the ship as long as it wasn't too busy with passengers. On Royal Caribbean, I wasn't really allowed too many places. There wasn't an officer bar or an officer mess. Everyone just eats in the same mess, but we'll talk about the mess in a bit. But like, they were quite strict with you, like wandering around the ship. Or obviously we had that crossing where there were no passengers on board, so of course all crew members could roam the ship freely. But when passengers were on board, they were quite strict with where you could go and at what times you could be there, which is fine. You know me, I like to follow the rules, it's okay. But I was just a little bit shocked, having come from Disney, where I expected it to be so much stricter than Royal Caribbean. And again, I do think that is ship to ship. And me and Josh spoke to some officers, obviously, while we did our little stint on board, and Royal Caribbean recently did a kind of a shuffle round. So there were a lot of officers who had spent the majority of their career on smaller ships and they'd come to a larger ship. And again, they were like, we just thought our privileges would transfer. But the rules are just so much stricter. The bigger the ship, the rules are so much stricter. So I think they had a little bit of a shock coming from a smaller ship to a bigger ship. They were like, oh, I'm going to go back to the smaller ship where I get paid the same and have a lot less stress. And then the fifth thing that I found less than idyllic working on the mega ship was the food. So as I've just mentioned in the crew privileges thing, I ate in the crew mess along with everybody else, along with the captain, the hotel director. Like, everyone eats in the crew mess on board Harmony. There is no other place to eat for crew members. Like, there's not an officer's mess. Some ships have like multiple messes. There's just one, well, 2 messes, but they serve exactly the same thing. They just open at different times. The food was the worst I've ever had on a cruise ship. And I think I've definitely been spoiled. So I was on Virgin Voyages before, as many of you know, where the food for the crew was excellent. It was the best I've ever had. And then I worked on the Disney Wish, where the food was really good. I was allowed to eat in the officer's mess. You do get a better standard of food in the officer's mess for whatever reason. I think everyone should get the same food, but it's just how it's always been. The officers get better food. And it was really good food. So to then go to Harmony of the Seas, yeah, it wasn't great. So they had a good selection. They did have a good selection, but it wasn't edible half the time. Yeah, I know, again, this is my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree. Some people think the food's fine on Royal. I personally, and again, it's ship to ship. It really is ship to ship. But the food on Harmony was abysmal. But anyway, I mean, it's fine. It's really not a boohoo story, but I was shocked at how poor the food was for the crew. So I am really happy to be home and eating good food, especially with the lead up to Christmas. You best believe I am stuffing my face with mince pies, and I am just having the best time when it comes to eating incredible food. I'm loving every second of it, and I am definitely making up for lost time with the food. So I need to be careful because I'm probably going to be home till March, which I think I said in the end of my last video, because Josh comes home and then he'll need a vacation. So I'm going to use this time to experiment with content on YouTube. So I think I'm going to do maybe a few cruise news videos. I'm going to book a cruise. I just want to experiment and see what you guys like, what works, and hopefully we can figure out together what you want to see, basically. And yeah, because when I am working on board, I don't have the energy all the time to experiment. You know, I'm very much like, this is the stuff that I make and this is what I'm going to continue making. So the fact that I'm now home and I have all this time, I want to just experiment with you and see what you like, see what I like doing. So if, you know, the next few videos I post, you're like, what the hell is this shit? Please let me know. If you really like it, please let me know. But anyway, to conclude this video, if you haven't already guessed, working on a megaship was not my favourite experience, which is a shame because I know so many crew members who have worked on megaships and love it. However, I would cruise on a megaship. Like, after working on a megaship, I can definitely see the appeal of being a passenger and cruising because there's so much to do. The entertainment's incredible, the food's great for the passengers. So I would 100% cruise on a megaship, absolutely. Would I ever choose to work on one again? Probably not, but I am so happy and so grateful for the experience because I always wanted to experience being on a megaship, that I've tried it and I can like tick it off the bucket list. And even though I didn't like it, at least I know I didn't like it. You know, I don't have to sit here and wonder what it would be like to work on a megaship now. So no, I'm truly grateful for the experience. And I met some fantastic people. I know I've just sat here and said I didn't make any friends. I did meet some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. I think I was just a bit lazy because obviously I had Josh there, so I probably didn't put in as much effort as I would have if he wasn't there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed this video, but let me know what you think about megaships. If you've worked on a megaship, if you've cruised on a megaship, I'm genuinely really curious to know your opinion after I've just told you mine, because as I said, it is my opinion and you might have a completely different view of it. So let me know, because yeah, I'd really like to know what you think of megaships, and not just Royal Caribbean ones as well, like any cruise line, because I think like every ship is different, every megaship is probably different, but I've obviously only been on one, so maybe I just need to try a different one. I don't know, but let me know what you think. But anyway, have a fantastic week ahead and I will see you in the next video. Bye!